The music industry is frozen in panic right now, because the one thing Drake never thought would happen has just happened. A leak so massive, so damaging, so career-shaking, that insiders are saying this could be the moment that finally ends the untouchable era of Aubrey Drake Graham. The Iceman album, the project he's been teasing for months, the album he promised would reset the culture, the album fans expected to be his revenge masterpiece, has been leaked. Not rumored, not teased, not sampled, leaked, front to back, raw files, unmixed vocals, scrapped versions, secret collaborations, and worst of all, the tracks he never intended anyone to hear. And the reaction? It's not excitement, it's not hype, it's not celebration, it's rage. Real, boiling, unstoppable rage. Because the leak didn't just expose songs, it exposed Drake himself, his insecurities, his grudges, his targets, the names he tried to blur out, the subliminals that weren't so subliminal in the leaked drafts, the messy, chaotic, unfiltered truth behind the album he wasn't ready to release. Insiders are calling it Drake's worst nightmare. Producers are panicking. Brand partners are pulling back. Fans are divided. Rival rappers? They're celebrating. And now the industry is whispering the same terrifying sentence. The boycott has to start now. Why? What's inside these leaked files that has everyone demanding a shutdown? What did Drake say behind the scenes that he was too scared to put on the final album? And who is being exposed by lyrics that were never supposed to see daylight? Because trust me, the leak isn't just a leak. It's a bomb, a cultural bomb, a career bomb, a personal bomb, one that Drake can't walk away from this time. And once you hear what's actually on those tracks, you'll understand exactly why the industry wants the boycott to start immediately. Drake's career has always lived in a strange, dangerous space. A place between global obsession and global scrutiny. He's the artist everyone praises publicly but questions privately. The hitmaker who can dominate charts, dominate headlines, dominate entire cultural movements, yet somehow still lives under the shadow of doubt, controversy, and whispers that refuse to disappear. And Iceman? From the moment he teased that name, the world knew this wasn't going to be a normal album. And the title itself sounded cold, calculated, emotionless, a warning shot hidden behind a metaphor. Fans thought it meant Drake was coming back harder, colder, sharper. They thought this was his chance to reclaim the narrative after beefs, scandals, losses, and public embarrassments. But what no one knew was that this album wasn't born out of inspiration. It was born out of revenge. Drake didn't start working on Iceman because he wanted to elevate the culture. He started working on it because he wanted to respond to everyone, to every critic, every enemy, every name that whispered behind closed doors, every rapper who claimed his throne was slipping, every outlet that said he fell off, every fan who dared to say he wasn't hungry anymore. He built Iceman track by track like a weapon, not an album, a weapon. Producers who sat in those studio sessions said he was a completely different person. No jokes, no smiles, no late-night Instagram flirting. Just silence, pressure, and a level of intensity they had never seen in him. One producer leaked that Drake said, "Everything they said about me, I'm ending it on this album." But revenge albums come with consequences, especially when the truth inside them is too raw to release publicly. The deeper Drake went into Iceman, the more unhinged the sessions became. He started referencing people he wasn't supposed to reference, calling out names he had NDAs with, and reopening scandals that his team spent years burying, touching subjects that would instantly break the internet, and not in a good way. Multiple insiders said they begged him to tone down the lyrics. His response? "I'm done protecting people. But here's where the story turns dangerous." Drake didn't realize how vulnerable those sessions were. He didn't realize how many people had access to early files. He didn't realize how many engineers, assistants, and collaborators held pieces of the project, in folders, in backups, in private drives, in forgotten email links. And he definitely didn't realize how many people around him were fed up. Fed up with his ego. Fed up with his control issues. Fed up with the pressure. Fed up with the hypocrisy behind the scenes. Because while Drake was crafting a revenge album, the industry was quietly crafting revenge against him. Years of tension, years of unpaid favors, years of bubbling resentment, years of people watching him survive scandals they believed should have ended him. So when Iceman began taking shape, so did the perfect storm. The pressure grew. Leaks became rumors. Rumors became whispers. Whispers became threats. And then, the night everything shifted, Drake's team received an anonymous warning. Keep playing with fire and this album will drop before you're ready. They ignored it. Drake laughed it off, but insiders didn't, because they knew something Drake didn't. Iceman wasn't safe. Someone, or multiple people, had access to unreleased drafts. Someone had been downloading early versions. Someone had been screen recording sessions on their phone. Someone had been privately collecting content for months. This wasn't a random leak. It was premeditated. And the biggest red flag? The leak didn't include final mixes, so it included everything Drake didn't want out. The unedited verses, the removed disses, the names he blurred out, the voice memos between sessions, the arguments with producers, the emotional breakdowns he tried to cut, the references to scandals that were sealed, the raw versions where he admits things he's never spoken aloud. These weren't polished tracks. These were drafts designed to be hidden forever. And one engineer allegedly told a friend, "If these drafts leak, odds it'll ruin a lot more than Drake's image." And just like that, the fear spread. Industry insiders knew the truth. The Iceman leak wasn't bad because of the music. It was bad because of the secrets attached to the music. And this wasn't the first time Drake was on thin ice. Remember the controversies? The online beefs with younger rappers? The accusations of stealing flows? The weird friendships people question? The allegations fans pretend not to see? The romantic rumors with people way younger than him? The texts, the DMs, the hidden connections? Drake's career has always survived because people never had the full picture. Iceman threatens that. Because Iceman isn't just music, it's a diary, a confession, a collection of things Drake wasn't supposed to say, but did. And that's exactly why the industry is terrified. Because this leak doesn't expose Drake the artist. It exposes Drake the person, the insecurities, the grudges, the obsession with his enemies, the jealousy of younger artists, the bitterness toward critics, the fear of becoming irrelevant. And the most dangerous part? The leak contains references to a scandal the public doesn't know about. At least not yet. But people behind the scenes know. And they're whispering that this scandal is the reason why some insiders are demanding the public start boycotting Drake right now, before the truth forces itself out. Because if the wrong clip goes viral, if the wrong lyric hits the timeline, if the wrong voice memo leaks, Drake isn't losing fans. He's losing everything. The Iceman leak didn't hit the internet quietly. It didn't slip through back channels. It didn't slowly spread the way most leaks do. No. It detonated like a bomb, hitting every platform at once, all within minutes. As if someone carefully timed the attack. Reddit first, then Discord, then a locked Telegram channel, and then private Dropbox links, and finally, Twitter, where the chaos truly exploded. It didn't take long before people realized something was off. These weren't normal leaks. These weren't polished songs. These weren't rough drafts meant for fans. These were raw, unfiltered, unprotected files, the kind only insiders had access to. And every file came with metadata timestamps that proved the leak wasn't old. It was recent. It was deliberate. It was personal. But what shocked people first wasn't even the music. It was the folder structure itself, which someone leaked a screenshot of. The folder wasn't titled Iceman Demos. The folder wasn't titled Album Mixes. It was titled ice_chest_do_not_open instantly. Fans knew. This wasn't a random leak. This was someone's revenge. And then the listening began. The first track people opened wasn't even a song. It was a voice note from Drake complaining about the industry, a ranting for over 2 minutes about younger rappers dissing him for clout. His tone wasn't confident. It wasn't even angry. It was insecure, petty, panicked, like a man watching the floor crack beneath him. He even said, "I shouldn't have to defend my legacy to kids who just started rapping 5 years ago." That clip alone went viral. But the real damage came next. The actual songs, the unfinished ones, sounded nothing like the polished Drake the world knows. They were aggressive, bitter, dark, completely ego-driven. One leaked track had him dissing multiple artists directly, names he removed from the final drafts, names he blurred out in official versions. But the leak exposed them all. A young superstar he secretly hates, a female rapper he feels overshadowed by, a producer he claims stole his sound, a legendary rapper he says fell off harder than anyone in history. And worst of all, a former friend he calls a snake in designer clothes. People were shocked at how personal the jabs were. This wasn't rap beef, this wasn't sport, this was venom, and the industry immediately responded. And a producer tweeted, "This is why some songs never see the light of day." A Grammy voter wrote, "He's exposing himself more than he exposed anyone else." A female rapper posted, "I knew he was fake, but this? Wow." But the leak got worse, because in track 7, a song titled Cold Storage Draft 3, Drake accidentally left in a verse that was removed from later versions. And the contents of that verse? Pure nuclear fallout. In the leaked verse, Drake mentions a situation involving a teenage girl, a party his team cleaned up fast, a celebrity he can't be seen with anymore, an ND, he forced someone to sign, a screenshot he paid to make disappear. The moment fans heard it, the entire internet went into freefall. People were pausing the audio frame by frame. People were transcribing the lyrics. People were tagging journalists. People were demanding investigations. Even his supporters couldn't defend it. One fan wrote, "Why would he ever record himself saying this?" Another, "There's no way he was going to release this." Right? But the twist? This wasn't the worst part. Because after track 7 came track 9, a song titled The Incident. This is where the first major twist hit, the twist that changed everything. Track 9 wasn't a song. It was an entire 46-second clip of Drake arguing with someone in the studio. A heated, vicious argument that was never meant to leave that room. And the voice in the background? A well-known R&B singer. Fans recognized it instantly. He yelled, "You can't put that in the album, bro. Are you out of your mind? Do you know what that would start?" Drake replied, "I don't care anymore. They already think I'm the villain, so let me be the villain." The R&B singer screamed back, "You're gonna get canceled." And Drake said the sentence that made the entire world stop breathing. "Then they better cancel me before this drops. Not because I'm telling my truth now." That one line broke the internet. Because it proved the album contained dangerous content. It proved Drake knew it. It proved his own friends warned him. It proved the Iceman project was built on confession, revenge, and emotional breakdown, not artistry. And the twist deepened again when fans slowed down the audio and heard someone else whisper off-screen, "Bro, that situation's not even cleared legally yet." Legally not cleared, not safe to talk about. And this wasn't just drama. This wasn't just ego. This wasn't just hurt feelings. This was dangerous, legally dangerous, career-ending dangerous. By the time track 9 finished circulating online, major platforms began locking threads, deleting links, suspending accounts for copyright. But it was too late. The Iceman leak wasn't going away. Then came the first huge twist. The one that flipped the narrative. A high-level industry insider confirmed anonymously. The leak didn't come from fans. It came from someone close to him. Someone close. A collaborator, a studio insider, a trusted person, someone with access to raw files. Who would leak an entire album to destroy Drake? A betrayed producer? A former friend? A ghostwriter? A rival artist? A disgruntled engineer? The industry is whispering one name behind the scenes, but no one has said it publicly pour si yet. And this name, if confirmed, would break the internet beyond repair, or it's because the leak wasn't meant to embarrass Drake. It was meant to end him. And the boycott? The calls didn't start from fans. They started from other celebrities. Big names, influencers, people with reach. Stop supporting Drake until the truth about these leaked tracks comes out. The Iceman leak wasn't a scandal. It was a declaration of war. The Iceman leak didn't just shake the industry. It sent the entire ecosystem into survival mode. The moment those unfinished tracks hit the internet, every label, every producer, every PR team, every past collaborator, and every artist who ever had beef with Drake suddenly found themselves scrambling. The phone calls started instantly. Executives calling studios, studios calling engineers, engineers calling assistants, assistants calling anyone who had touched the files. Everyone asking the same terrifying question. Who leaked it? Who had access? Who did Drake piss off? Because the leak wasn't sloppy. It wasn't chaotic. It wasn't random. It was surgical. The leaker didn't drop the clean versions. They dropped the versions that hurt Drake the most. The messy drafts, the angry verses, the incriminating voice notes, the unedited rants, the legal nightmare confessions, the removed name drops, the sensitive references, the private arguments. Nobody does that unless the motive is personal, and the industry knew it. Rappers who were usually scared to speak on Drake suddenly sensed blood in the water. And a popular drill rapper tweeted, "Should have dropped heat instead of secrets. Now look." A female rapper posted, "Been said he was messy off camera." A producer wrote, "This is what happens when you treat your team like they're disposable." And the moment those posts went viral, everyone noticed something strange. Not a single major artist rushed to defend Drake. Not one. Not even the ones he boosted. Not even the ones he featured. Not even the ones who owe their careers to him. Yes, the silence was louder than any diss track. But the real escalation started when labels began distancing themselves. Subtly, quietly, strategically. A partnering brand removed Drake's promo banner. A magazine pushed his interview back. A talk show postponed his scheduled appearance. A festival replaced his headshot with a TBA placeholder. Nobody wanted to be the first to drop him, but nobody wanted to stand next to him either. And this is where the story gets dark. Because around 3 a.m., and after the leak had been circulating for hours, a major entertainment insider posted a cryptic message. There's a reason the album is called Iceman. This goes deeper than music. Fans went crazy. What reason? What does the title really mean? Is this about the scandal mentioned in track 7? But before anyone could decode the message, a series of new leaks hit the internet. Not audio files, not songs, not voice notes, but screenshots. Screenshots from studio cameras, on screenshots from text messages, screenshots of Drake's team arguing behind the scenes, screenshots of his engineer begging him to change certain lyrics. One message from a top producer read, "You can't put this out, Drake. You'll get buried." Another from the R&B singer he argued with said, "Bro, please listen to me. You're not thinking clearly." But the scariest screenshot was the one from Drake himself. If they cancel me, I'll still drop it. I'm tired of being silent about everything. That message was a mistake, a massive one, because it confirmed one thing. Drake wasn't just making an album. He was making a confession he believed would either save him or destroy him. And someone close to him wanted destruction. But who? At first, the internet guessed random names, rival rappers, angry engineers, jealous producers, but none of that lined up with the precision of the leak. Until an unexpected post surfaced, and a former OVO affiliate, someone who had been quiet for years, posted a single sentence. Some people deserve everything coming to them. Fans started digging. This person worked in engineering, was in the studio for years, knows Drake's workflow, knows his file structure, knows how drafts are saved, knows where backups are stored, knows exactly how to leak without getting caught. But here comes the twist. Right after that post, another insider dropped this bomb. It wasn't one person, but it was a team. A team? The comments exploded. Who is the team? Why are they doing this? This is a setup. And then the insider clarified. Think of the 4 people Drake trusted most in the studio over the last year. One of them flipped, the others stayed silent. That's all I'll say. The 4 people he trusted most? Fans began listing obvious names. But the real shock came when a second insider confirmed, there's a woman involved. This changed everything. Because Drake's entire career is filled with secret tension involving women, exes, dancers, influencers, NDA-protected relationships, industry flings, long-term enemies. Which one was involved? A former girlfriend? A former collaborator? A former business partner? A former writer? Nobody knew. But then came the message that broke the internet open. Someone posted this on X, Twitter. The leak didn't start because of the music. It started because of the cover-up. Cover-up? Odd fans went wild. What cover-up? What did Drake hide? Is this about the party mentioned in track 7? Is this about the legal case? Is this about the girl? And finally, one brave industry account connected to a major producer posted, "Y'all didn't hear the worst part. The leak was the warning. The real scandal is not out yet." This line sent chills through the entire music world. If the leak was the warning, what was coming next? Like another insider added, they leaked Iceman because Drake refused to tell the truth, so they forced it. Forced it, meaning someone wanted him exposed, someone wanted him broken open, someone wanted the world to see the real Drake. And the leak was step 1. And then, at 5:42 p.m., the biggest twist so far dropped. A known producer, someone who has worked with Drake, posted a picture of a hard drive with the caption, "These files were never meant to see daylight." Someone took the wrong one. Fans lost their minds. Wrong hard drive? Wrong folder? Wrong session data? That means this wasn't a leak. It was a theft. A targeted, intentional, deliberate theft by someone inside the recording room. Someone who Drake trusted. Someone who had access. Someone who wanted to ruin him. And then a major burner account, known for accurate leaks, posted the final reveal. Everyone keeps guessing rappers. You're all wrong. But the person who leaked Iceman is someone Drake paid, someone Drake protected, someone Drake underestimated. And that person has more files. More files, more leaks, more secrets. And then, the final message before the account deleted itself. Iceman was only the beginning. The moment the Iceman leak spread beyond fan circles and into mainstream platforms, the music industry didn't just react. It imploded. Every hour, new reactions poured in, each one more chaotic, more emotional, and more revealing than the last. If Drake thought the leak was the crisis, he hadn't seen anything yet. because the reactions became the real storm. At first, fans were confused, shocked that the leaks were real, horrified by the unedited lyrics, disturbed by the confessional tone of the unfinished tracks. But the confusion didn't last long. Within minutes, confusion turned to disappointment. Minutes later, disappointment turned to betrayal. And then, betrayal turned to outrage. And millions of fans flooded comment sections. What did I just hear? This is not the Drake I defended. He's saying things you can't just walk back. I feel sick. This album wasn't music, it was a meltdown. Twitter became a battlefield. Reddit became a courtroom. TikTok became a funeral. But the tipping point, the moment the entire internet flipped, came when a viral TikTok creator posted a 3-minute breakdown titled, "The leaks are worse than you think, and Drake knows it." That video hit 10 million views in 4 hours. She played audio snippets. She showed screenshots. She read the incriminating lyric drafts. She exposed the argument clip. She explained why cold storage was legally dangerous. And she ended with, "I don't think he comes back from this." Comments blew up. Yeah, this is boycott level bad. He crossed lines that can't be uncrossed. I defended him for years. I can't anymore. This is bigger than music. But fans weren't the only ones reacting. The industry itself began moving like a shaken hive. Producers began deleting pictures with Drake. Writers unfollowed him silently. Engineers locked their social accounts. Collaborators disabled comments. When influencers suddenly became neutral, nobody wanted to be associated with him until the smoke cleared, but the smoke kept getting thicker. Then celebrities started speaking. A Grammy-winning rapper tweeted, "If the leaks are real, he owes a lot of people apologies." A famous DJ posted, "I heard the drafts a while ago. I told him this wasn't safe. He didn't listen." A rising female artist wrote, "I'm disgusted by what I heard." A mega streamer said on Live, "This is career suicide. Forget a PR team. He needs crisis management and legal protection." But the biggest hit came from a pop star who used to be close to Drake. She tweeted, "I warned him years ago that his ego would destroy him. Sooner or later, truth always slips through." That tweet alone nearly broke the platform. But then the boycott began. Not from random fans, not from trolls, not from haters, from organizers. A coalition of women in music publicly announced a temporary boycott, saying, "We refuse to support an artist who weaponizes lyrics to harm others, reveal private situations, and intimidate people through music." The hashtag attached to the campaign? Hashtag #FreezeOut Iceman. It hit 3 million posts by midnight. Even radio stations joined in, with 2 announcing, "We're pausing all Drake airplay until more information comes out." That was the first time in years that any major station had publicly distanced itself from him. But it didn't stop there. A well-known entertainment lawyer went viral for saying on livestream, "Some of the lyrics in these drafts could be interpreted as admissions. If the wrong lawyer gets involved, this could turn into a legal disaster." That sentence caused absolute hysteria. People began posting, "Admissions? What is he admitting to? Are they talking about the party mentioned in track 7? Is this why the leaker said there's a cover-up?" Theories poured in like a tsunami. Meanwhile, Drake's silence became a massive story on its own. He didn't deny anything. He didn't address the leak. He didn't call it fake. He didn't threaten legal action. He didn't post. He didn't tweet. He didn't breathe online. And that scared people more than anything else. Fans wrote, "Why is he not defending himself if this is fake? He always responds to small drama. Why is he silent on this? He looks guilty." Meanwhile, the artists he once supported began distancing themselves without saying a word, quietly deleting pictures, removing songs from playlists, canceling features, ghosting his team. One video went viral showing an interview clip from last year where Drake laughed and said, "You'll never see me crumble. Yeah, I'm built for this." People stitched it with clips from the leak and wrote, "Ironic. Maybe not. Everyone crumbles eventually." But the real explosion came when a journalist from a major publication tweeted, "We've been investigating a certain Drake scandal for months. The leak just confirmed parts of it. Article coming soon." That tweet went nuclear. Because suddenly the Iceman leak wasn't just a leak. It was evidence. Evidence of behavior, conversations, cover-ups, NDA situations, private incidents, legal conflicts, disrespect toward industry peers, incriminating voice memos. Every rumor that fans dismissed for years suddenly didn't look like a rumor anymore. Then the biggest shockwave of the entire reaction cycle hit. A leaked DM screenshot from a major rapper, someone Drake has collaborated with, saying, "I'm done protecting him. Oh, he brought this on himself." That screenshot hit 25 million views overnight. Because if that rapper, someone known for extreme loyalty, flipped on Drake, it meant the betrayal wasn't just from the leaker. It was from the industry itself. Everyone quietly stepping away. Everyone waiting for the collapse. Everyone watching the fire and refusing to put it out. And then one final post shook the earth. A burner account, known for credible inside info, posted, "The leaked files weren't the full story. There's a second folder. The next leak will end everything." Everything. Not hurt him, not embarrass him, not damage his reputation. End everything. The internet froze, people panicked, fans cried, haters celebrated, journalists sharpened their knives, lawyers prepared statements, and activists pushed the boycott even harder. Because if the first leak caused this much damage, what happens when the second folder drops? The Iceman leak had already done enough damage to bury an average artist's career forever. But Drake isn't an average artist. He's an empire, a global machine, a billion-dollar brand. And when empires fall, they don't just collapse. They implode from the inside out. And that's exactly what was happening. As the world panicked, dissected, debated, canceled, and boycotted, like something strange began occurring inside Drake's inner circle. People started disappearing, quietly. Assistants who once posted daily went silent. Producers who once bragged about studio sessions set their accounts to private. PR team members deleted bios. Even longtime OVO affiliates stopped reposting anything related to the brand. It was like everyone was bracing for something even bigger, because they were. And then, the first real clue about the mastermind slipped out. It's a private text, allegedly from someone in Drake's camp, leaked online. The message read, "He trusted the wrong person. We knew this would happen eventually. The wrong person. The wrong person." This wasn't a random hacker. This wasn't a disgruntled engineer. This wasn't a rival rapper. This was someone Drake trusted. Someone he let into sessions. Someone he confided in. Someone he paid. Someone he protected. Someone with motive and access. And when fans started drawing names, a one insider dropped the line that changed everything. "It's not a man." The entire internet froze. Not a man? A woman? Who? There were only a few women with intimate access to the Iceman sessions. A longtime engineer, a secret collaborator rumored to be romantically linked, a songwriter who left OVO abruptly, a pop singer who cut ties suddenly, a woman Drake allegedly had a falling out with months ago. Everyone was guessing, until a burner account, known for getting OVO leaks right for years, posted this. "She recorded everything and he never noticed." Recorded everything. Studio arguments, rants, voice notes, private conversations, unreleased tracks, reference vocals, confessions, admissions, everything. Fans immediately connected the dots. One name kept appearing. An OVO songwriter who mysteriously left the camp a few months ago after a massive fight with Drake. Someone he reportedly kept under NDAs. Was someone he reportedly didn't credit properly. someone he reportedly owed money, someone he reportedly had a complicated off-record relationship with. And then the shocking twist hit. A rumor began spreading that this woman didn't act alone. She was part of a small internal circle, a group that felt Drake had used them, manipulated them, underpaid them, and silenced them for years. They didn't leak the project for clout or views or attention. They leaked it to destroy him. One tweet from a major insider said, "This wasn't revenge for one incident. This was years of resentment finally erupting." Another said, "Drake thought he was the Iceman. He didn't realize he was standing on melting ice." But then came the reveal that shook the entire internet. A verified producer, someone who worked directly on the Iceman sessions, posted a cryptic message. She told him not to cross her. He did. Now she's showing him why that was a mistake. The internet lost its mind, and women rallied behind her. Men were stunned. Blogs began posting headlines like, "Meet the woman who broke Drake." Is Drake's career about to collapse? The female masterminds behind the Iceman leak. But the biggest reveal was still coming. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, a second mysterious file began appearing in private Telegram channels. Not audio, not lyrics, not files. A simple folder name, Iceman_2/fracture. The internet collectively screamed, "What is that? What's in the second folder? Why is it named Fracture?" And then an anonymous message accompanied the folder. The first leak exposed his words. The next leak exposes his life. What exposes his life? Fans went into full meltdown. What does that mean? His texts? His photos? His DMs? His legal documents? What are they about to drop? Then the same account posted another terrifying line. You've only seen the music. You haven't seen the receipts. Receipts, screenshots, videos, documents, photos, messages, contracts, stuff that artists' PR teams burn to keep hidden. Fans were begging, "Please no. This is too much. What receipts? What is he hiding? Will this end him?" The insider posted one final message before deleting the account completely. Iceman was never the danger. Fracture is. And that sentence sent shockwaves across the industry, because it implied one horrifying truth. The first leak was just a warning shot. The real destruction is in the second leak. Bloggers began reporting that multiple platforms were getting ready for a massive scandal. And legal experts started live streams explaining what could happen if certain receipts become public. Fans speculated Drake might go into hiding. Some believed he'd flee to Toronto indefinitely. Others said he might check himself into PR-run exhaustion treatment to control the narrative. But the worst part? People close to Drake said he is absolutely terrified. One anonymous source reported, he thought he could handle the music leak. But the second leak? He knows what's in it. And he knows if it drops, it's over. Another said, he's calling everyone, threatening lawsuits, begging certain people to stay silent. He knows what's coming. And the final twist, the cliffhanger of cliffhangers, arrived when a journalist for a major publication tweeted, "We've reviewed a portion of the Fracture folder. The public is not ready for what's inside." The internet froze. Everyone held their breath. And the final line of the tweet sent chills across millions of screens. This isn't about music anymore. It's about who Drake really is. Everything is about to collapse. And the only question left is, will Fracture drop tomorrow, next week, or the moment Drake slips up again? Because the leakers are watching, waiting, smiling. And Drake? He's standing on ice so thin. One more crack could end him forever. If you've made it to the end of this video, congratulations. Because you're now part of the very small percentage of people who actually understand how deep this Iceman disaster goes. The leaks weren't random. The lyrics weren't accidents. The reactions weren't overblown. And the silence from Drake? That silence is the loudest alarm bell we've heard in years. But now the entire world is holding its breath because the first leak wasn't the real threat. It was the warning. The real bomb, the fracture folder, hasn't even dropped yet. And if insiders are right, when it does, Drake won't be fighting for chart positions. He'll be fighting for his reputation, his career, and maybe even his freedom. So now I need to hear from you. Do you think Drake can survive the fracture leak? Do you believe the mastermind behind the leak is acting out of revenge or justice? Do you think the boycott is necessary or too extreme? And the most important question of all, if the second folder drops, should Drake just retire before the truth destroys him? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't wait, don't scroll, don't overthink it. Your comment helps push this video into the algorithm, and trust me, the world needs to see this before the fracture files reshape everything we think we know about Drake. And listen, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. That's because the moment the fracture leak drops, whether it's tonight, tomorrow, or next week, I'm going to break it down piece by piece, expose by expose, receipt by receipt. This isn't just a story. This is the biggest celebrity implosion of the decade. And we're documenting it live, in real time. So stay locked in, stay subscribed, stay ready. Because when the fracture files drop, the world won't just cancel Drake. The world will finally learn who he really is.